My career has been pretty crazy. I mean, I know it's smaller, but I don't know. And I don't just mean one moment, I mean the whole mode. From cutscenes that had nothing to do with basketball, to starting your career as a 40 overall, to playing so bad they threw your ass in the D League. At times, my career has been pretty wild. And today, we're looking back at some of the things that made my career pretty damn crazy.
Hey, you ever wonder why Steve Nash licks his hands?
That's exactly the type of stuff you'd hear the 2K insiders say. And with how confident this man was, you'd think he was an old NBA player or he was actually there with these guys. But either way, this man definitely gave you some random NBA knowledge that you'll probably never need.
Karl Malone on what gets his juices flowing.
What?
But he also did try and help you by giving you advice on your opponents, or he would just start dogging you for how bad you played.
What's up with all those bad passes you were making?
And sometimes he would just trash talk you for sitting in the menu for too long.
Since you're sitting there literally doing nothing, I'm gonna teach.
Sometimes it was funny, sometimes it made absolutely no sense, and because of that, you either loved how random it was, or you just shut him off because you thought he was a knockoff Stephen A. But either way, it gave the older games personality, and if you played back then, you definitely remember this man always talking your ear off 24/7. And the 2K insider wasn't the only one saying crazy stuff in 2K.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is the press conferences. Because sometimes these were just straight up hilarious. Your dude would be in there saying the craziest things.
I am the god of glass, the lord of leap, the prince of pounding the all praise.
And I mean, this man even went as far to shout out the Navy SEALs.
I'm the lone, long ranger. Shout out to the Navy SEALs, sniper division. Pow!
And you just be sitting there like, bro, what the hell is my guy talking about? And your player wasn't the only one talking crazy. A lot of these reporters were clearly just out here trying to piss you off and get a reaction 24/7. And the attitude on some of these dudes was hilarious.
How about a little spontaneity just for once?
News must have been slow because they were begging for a story. And the best part was, you didn't just have to sit there and take it. Sometimes the game actually let you clap back. And that's when things got pretty funny.
Look, I'm not saying I know any specifics. I'm just trying.
You don't know. You don't know what you're talking about.
And sometimes, if your PR lady knew you were about to say something stupid, she would even check you mid-response.
I mean, I know I got big shoulders, but I'm tired of carrying these fools every single night. Daddy, chill. I love my teammates, and I appreciate their inability to support me on the court.
But sometimes, it didn't matter. And you just stand up, start yelling at the reporter, and storm out of the room. And like I said, half of these were just straight comedy. And in a weird way, it had you wanting to keep playing my career because you never knew what crazy moment or reaction was coming next.
Nah, man, that.
And it wasn't just reporters that you had to deal with either.
Good game out there tonight, son. I'm the GM of the Raptors.
That's when the pre-draft interview started. You'd be sitting face to face with the GM and have to answer some pretty insane questions.
I gotta ask, because I've seen the film. How the hell do you play with that monster between your legs?
The important thing is that I never let it bring me down or hold me back. It's never stopped me from going out and doing what I've wanted to do.
And some even asked you if you'd be able to put up with the weather.
The gosh darn weather. Can you deal with these types of adverse conditions?
Why the heck would I want to be cold, man?
And depending on how you answered these, the team would let you know if they wanted you anymore. And they made that very clear. But they weren't just killing your dreams. Because with some of these responses, you were ruining their whole day.
What do you think about being a centerpiece for the new Phoenix Suns?
Honestly, no thanks.
I mean, you might as well have just gave him the finger and walked out. But instead, you decided to ruin his day. And just like the press conference, what you said here actually mattered. Because your answers would directly affect where you would end up being drafted. And these were cool at first, but honestly, they kind of became annoying. Especially when you had to go through them all over again when you made a new player. But they still added something new to the experience and gave you a chance to trash talk the GM straight to his face.
YOLO, baby.
And all of this stuff, this all came later. Because if you want to see how crazy my career was, you got to go back, way back. Because in the early days of my career, they had you starting at a 40 overall. And this wasn't just low but playable, or just grind your guy a little bit. Your dude was straight booty cheeks. You could barely dribble, you couldn't shoot, and you definitely couldn't finish. You were basically just out there praying for a solid grade and some skill points to upgrade your trash can of a guy. Cause you were damn near a waste of space out there just getting in some cardio, just doing your best impression of Tony Snell. But the difference, this was every single game. And the craziest part, back then, the game didn't care at all. 2K gave you the 40 overall and said, figure it out.
A few more games like this, and your career will be, wait for it, over.
And people think we have it bad now, starting at a 60 overall, but starting at a 40 honestly makes that look amazing. And also, imagine how much 2K would charge. Not only was it hard to play well, but if you ended up playing bad, they threw your ass in the D League. And honestly, a lot of people would still love for this to come back because it made the grind feel real. Like, in what world should you be getting drafted into the NBA, averaging 4 points a game, especially when LeBron's not even your dad? Got him! Because instead of babying you, 2K would just send you down to the D-League. And once again, they said figure it out. And this was the game straight up telling you you're not good enough yet. So now you were just fighting for your life as a 40 overall, just trying to earn your way back to the NBA. And honestly, I think it'd be pretty cool if they added this back, because it was kind of crazy that you could get stuck down there. And if you thought the D-League was rock bottom, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy, because years later, 2K sent you all the way to China, and you were so trash, you had to prove yourself on the Shanghai Bears, and half the time, you had no idea what anyone was even saying.
You understand? No.
To make it worse, you damn near weren't even the main character over there, because they had the Chinese Michael Jordan, also known as the Flying Red Dragon, and this man was a problem, and if he drove down the lane, you knew he was about to pull off some crazy animation, and every time you played him, it damn near felt like a boss fight. But the craziest part about this, the guy who helped you escape China, that was Anthony Mackie, the same dude that got cooked in a rap battle at the end of 8 Mile.
This guy's a gangster? His real name's Clarence.
And honestly, that's all I saw every time he popped up.
What's the matter, dog? You in Paris?
And every time a player starts playing bad, the main joke is them going to China. So when 2K actually had you starting your career there, it was pretty crazy. But it also kept the experience new and exciting. And chasing your NBA dream, that's one thing. But chasing a girl, that's a whole different story.
Get out.
No, Nikki, I didn't
Find your own
mean
way
it.
back to Fort Wayne.
This was actually a thing, because 2K really said, let's get this man a girlfriend. You'd get done with the game, and she'd be blowing up your phone, asking to hang out and everything. And then before you know it, having a full-on fight, asking her why she's ghosting you.
Why were you ghosting me?
And then getting the door slammed on your face. This part of MyCAREER was honestly pretty hilarious, and the craziest part, they did this in multiple games, like 2K19, where you get a girlfriend and try to convince her that size doesn't matter. I mean, I know it's smaller, but I don't know. And it's all fun and games until she decides to post a story and let the whole world know.
Do you know what is wrong with you?
Came from? This is your fault, Nikki.
And then once again, you're yelling at each other and end up breaking up.
This was a mistake.
And then your guys all depressed, but hey, at least they gave you a kissing scene, right? It's honestly pretty crazy that 2K put this much detail into a video game relationship that had nothing to do with basketball.
What kind of basketball team burns down their own hotel?
And before girlfriends were blowing up your phone, 2K had a different solution.
Oh my, someone called the National Weather Service.
They gave you a mentor. At first it sounded fire, a veteran on your team taking you under their wing and showing you how the league really works. But in reality, this man followed you everywhere. The locker room, the plane, and probably the bathroom too. It felt like you couldn't escape him in any cutscenes. And it honestly started feeling like 2K gave you a boyfriend instead of a mentor. I mean, they even have a cutscene where he goes through your phone and sees some text messages and confronts you about it. They had a grown man going through your phone, and if you got unlucky, you had to deal with dudes like Udonis Haslam.
I'm running free all over the court, and you ain't give me the rock.
Telling you he needs more touches and to pass him the ball, but that wasn't even the worst part, because this dude didn't even play, so he was just yelling at you for no reason.
Boy, get out of my face with that, man.
And that leads us to the worst part.
That a young buck like you could actually do the right thing and avoid getting his sorry butt kicked out the game.
What? None of these dudes could even voice act, like at all. You'd be sitting there listening to Al Horford sounding like he just learned how to read.
Only thing that matter is what happened between the line. Do the work, listen to the coaches, and the result will take care of themselves.
What? Half the dialogue sounds like they recorded it in one take and then just called it a day without even checking how it sounded. And you're sitting there in the story going through what's supposed to be a serious moment, just honestly trying not to laugh because the voice acting was that bad. And it honestly made it seem like nobody in the NBA had ever interacted with another human before, or they failed out of first grade English. And some of these lines were so cringe, they actually made the cutscenes more memorable.
The proof will come between the lines. Tonight, time will tell if you can help or not.
The voice acting was really bad, the cutscenes were awkward,
one after another,
and some of it was funny, some of it was cringe, but none of it even compares to the one crazy person that completely changed how people would look at MyCAREER forever.
It was me!
And that was, of course, Vic Van Leer. This was supposed to be your best friend, but Vic was always causing problems, trying to secretly film your sister while she walks in front of him.
Are you taping me? Nah, I'm making phone calls, yo. I'm a networker. You know me. That's just what I do.
And we can't forget about
Dirt Bike Don.
You might be asking, who the hell is that? That's, of course, the guy you pushed down a staircase and accidentally killed in your senior year of high school. And Vic uses that to guilt trip you into everything, including jumpstarting his rap career as Boss Kiat. Eventually, you guys have a falling out, and that's when he asks for one last favor.
Anything for FOF. Let me borrow this here ride, man.
Yeah, I hope you got insurance on that, buddy, because Vic was never returning that car. Instead, he decided to go visit Dirt Bike Donnie. But at the time, this was definitely crazy and had you shook, for the simple fact that like 2K put this in their MyCAREER. I mean, they even had this man giving an after-death speech.
I love you, freak.
But looking back, it's insane that all of this was part of one mode. China, girlfriends, and all the trauma that came with being a 40 overall. Some of it we loved, some of it we hated. But that's exactly what made MyCAREER so crazy. Let me know in the comments what you guys remember the most. Thanks for watching, and leave a like if you want to
Stay saucy.
You ever wonder why Steve Nash licks his
Ever since I can remember, I've been popping my collar.